Let's take a look at Xenoblade Chronicles 3 announcement trailer for the Nintendo Switch. This was announced in the last Nintendo Direct. It was the last item of their agenda, and I'm pretty pumped about it.
Fighting in order to live, and living to fight. That's the way of our world. Ionios.
Ionios.
Tell me, what would possess you to side with them?
We're fighting because there are enemies to kill.
I refuse to believe you're him.
I knew it. I saw this coming.
You're not enemies now.
Fine for you, isn't it? All that time you've got.
You could try to move forwards again.
How can our lives be so snapping little, do you?
They're not your friends anymore. They're his fuel. Sword march. The land pierced by a great sword. It's the only way you're gonna defeat the real enemy.
Whatever life is lost, I won't let you shoulder it all alone.
What good filling up these flickering clocks in our eyes? It'll never replace the friends we've lost.
The flame clock, it has to go!
Ouroboros abhor this world. They must be erased without a trace.
That looks friggin' awesome. I don't care what you say, that looks amazing. So it looks like Flute is going to play some kind of a mechanic into the game. Maybe they'll say that in some of the articles that we're going to be reading after I give a little bit of a deeper analysis into this video. But it definitely looks like playing the flute is going to have some kind of a key aspect to the gameplay of it, which I think is going to be interesting. We haven't really, at least I don't remember seeing a mechanic like this before. We shall see. It looks like these flutes also have some kind of like power because further in the trailer, they're like playing the flutes in the middle of like an audience, and it seems like it's having some kind of a special effect on them. So we'll see how that works out. This was the scene where, because like Kegrin specifically told me not to go on social media and to just watch the Nintendo Direct, so I skipped through the multiple things until I got to this trailer. And when I got to this trailer, I was just watching the trailer, and this was the scene where I realized this is Xenoblade. Like, because they haven't said at this point that it was Xenoblade yet. And when I saw this big-ass looking laser sword, like, this art style just screams Xenoblade at you. Like, straight up, this just screams Xenoblade. And I was like, okay, this is 1000% Xenoblade. This was the point of the trailer. Like, to give you an idea of how iconic Xenoblade is, look at this. It was like, what is this? Friggin' 19 seconds into the trailer, I was like, this is a Xenoblade game. Because the first ones is just too enigmatic. This could be literally anything. This could be a friggin' like Warriors game for all we know, right? Could be like friggin' Fire Emblem Warriors, 3 Houses, whatever the hell, the 3 Hopes or whatever it was that they also announced during that Nintendo Direct. This could have been that. But the second I saw the battlefield, like even the first couple of explosions, I was like, But then I saw the sword, and I was like, yep, that's Xenoblade straight up. That is straight up Xenoblade. Lots of vehicles, and then in here he talks about by what? He says
Ionios.
the name. Bionios. This face actually reminds me a lot of that the guy who kills the what's her name? I forget her name from Xenoblade 1. Fiona. This face looks just like the face that guy has when he becomes a Mechonis. So our character here has the current iteration of Xenoblade, which is always red to the mark that it's the main character. So this is like this game's version of the Monado, basically. There's a girl with chakrams, and they're fighting. And it looks like they're going to become allies because you see them together a little bit later in the trailer. This dude is probably going to be the party's tank, I would imagine, because the main character is never the tank, which is always saddens me. The main character is never... The only Xenoblade where you could be the tank as the main character was Xenoblade Chronicles X. And that's why Xenoblade Chronicles X is one of the best Xenoblade Chronicles games. Also, to this day, Xenoblade Chronicles X, best exploration out of any video game ever made. And you can quote me on that. Xenoblade Chronicles X has the best exploration of any game. That simple. Yeah, Mumcar. Mumcar was the guy. Interesting. Looks like he's coming to our defense as the other girl's attacking us with another girl. This is the hammer girl. She probably will join the party as well. And that dude is just like so reminiscent of Van Damme. You guys remember Van Damme? Dude, Van Damme's such a cool character. See how they're like all playing towards this audience here, and it appears like there's all these particle effects indicating that it's almost like they're casting a spell or something. So yeah, these definitely are going to have some kind of like in-game implication with the way that they work. Also, interesting thing here, they're playing on each other's flutes. So they swapped flutes here, if you notice. Like, see, because this is probably her flute because it has, you know, colors that more resemble her own outfit, and this is his flute. And you can see that if you pay attention here at the start of the trailer. See how he's playing on this flute? Then you go to 43. She's playing on his... Okay. Hey. God damn it. I didn't mean it like that. Get your minds out of the gutter. Looks like there's another one here. Oh, she's got wings. Uh-oh. This is a very bad sign. This is a very bad sign right here. This is a bad omen right here. Final Fantasy people will understand. This dude's got like the paper things that you see in animes. Dude, this is one of the best things about Xenoblade is the sense of scale and wonder as you're just like running through the world. Like, I don't know what it is, but I've never played a video game that is able to convey this sense of scale as well as Xenoblade. Like, I'm not joking. Like, this sense of scale that you see here, like this, I know that the visuals don't look impressive. I know that some people would come out and be like, friggin' PS2 graphics. I'm so smart. PS2 graphics. But it's like, there's another thing besides the graphics, which is, for starters, the colorful art style that they have, which is also really good. But on top of the colorful, for some reason, I can't say that word today, colorful art style, they also have an amazing sense of scale that very few games are able to convey. Because, like, you can have this be in another video game easily, but for some reason in Xenoblade games, it just hits different. Maybe that's just because I like these games so much, but there's something about the sense of scale as you are exploring these worlds that always blows me away. In particular with Xenoblade Chronicles X. Xenoblade Chronicles X is friggin' mind-blowing. This also looks really good, though, because, like, look at all this stuff. You're going to be able to go anywhere you see here. Like, literally anywhere you see here, you'll probably be able to go there. As a matter of fact, you see this sword off in the distance? I saw it later in the trailer. And if you notice, there's like a forest over here. I bet you're going to go up here into this forest to do something of a quest. And this here, you're going to go here too. Like 1,000... Okay, I shouldn't say 1,000% because that's going to become a meme pretty much. But like, I'm almost sure that at some point you're going to be walking through this sword. There's going to be a forest over here. There's going to be another forest over here because we've seen this in Xenoblade games. Holy crap. Is this a boss fight? No, because the character's just walking, but it looks like it's got eyes. It's really massive structure. So here also showing you that you'll be able to control other characters as, the party leader if you want to. But obviously the main character is probably going to remain the same no matter what you do. It looks like the girl with wings also joins the party at some point. And the paper mache guy? I don't know. The guy who made like little paper birds. He's going to join us too. Oh, you actually see them all here. So looks like it's a 4-man squad that you'll be able to control. Ooh, you're going to be able to control a vehicle in the water. Interesting. As far as I remember, Xenoblade 2 didn't have vehicles. Chronicles X was the only one that... Am I wrong here, Chad? Am I misremembering? Because I know that my memory is bad, and I'm an old man nowadays, but it's like Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 didn't have vehicles. Only X had the skulls. Yeah, X is the only one that had vehicles. So this is interesting. Paper mache. The Nopons! Look at the Nop. Wait. Where are the Nopons? There they are. He's got an afro. He's got a friggin' afro, dude. Nopons are so cool. Nopons are so cool, man. We need to get Tatsu back, dude. Tatsu is an awesome Nopon. Team Tatsu. Hashtag Team Tatsu, dude. The Xenoblade Lalafell killed him. Shut the hell up, Kegrin. You know nothing, dude. If you can't appreciate Nopons, you can't appreciate Xenoblade. It's that simple. Who's this? Oh, it's the winged girl. Looks like she has like different outfits and hair colors and stuff. Looks like you'll be able to customize them quite a bit, their appearance and stuff at least. This was the tainted crystals of the corrupted weapons who ate blood or something. I forget. She's got one of those crystals from Xenoblade 2. So she's a blade. The girl is a blade. The flesh eaters, exactly, the flesh eaters. But how's that going to work? Because even though she's a blade, she has her own weapon. Well, precisely because she's a flesh eater. I wonder if the guy also has it. I wasn't paying attention to his chest. Well, you can't really see because his chest is covered. Even in the girl's chest, I think you only see the crystal in that one shot. Now I'm looking at everybody's chests throughout the thing again. Just looking for additional indications that anyone is a blade. Is she a blade? He doesn't have a crystal, so no. So she, according to the lore of Xenoblade 2, that character would be a flesh eater. She's not a blade, yeah. It's just her. She's the only one. I wonder how this connects to Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. Oh, She's a flesh eater too. And yeah, you see, this was the shot that I was talking about. See how you can really see the sword? Like, you're going to be able to go here, and this is going to be a path. Then you're going to have to, like, navigate through here. This is probably going to be, like, some kind of a facility that does something. Then you're going to go here, and then eventually you're going to get to this forest. Like, I'm almost 100% sure that that is going to happen. It's going to be so friggin' hype, dude. This is going to be so friggin' hype. I'm going to, like, look, September, I don't think that anything else is coming in September. We'll check out after I do the rest of the analysis on the information that we have. But, yeah, September, we're probably just going to be hanging out here on Twitch playing this game. That's probably what's going to happen. An introduction to Xenoblade Chronicles 3 from Executive Director Tetsuya Takahashi. Which other games has he worked on? Let's do a very quick Google search here. Tetsuya Takahashi is a Japanese video game designer and director. He has worked on Xenogears, originally submitted as a potential plot for Final Fantasy VII. It was made into its own project after being judged too dark and complicated for a fantasy. Yeah, you Final Fantasy boys wouldn't understand. Xenoblade Chronicles. Following a meeting about the game's Soma bringer, Takahashi imagined what a game would be like when the world was actually the body of a giant god. Takahashi attempted a more mature writing style for the game and said he expects to continue the same vein in the future. So he worked on the original Xenoblade Chronicles and Xenoblade Chronicles X. So he's not the one who worked on Xenoblade Chronicles. Well, he also worked on... Well, he worked on all the Xenoblade Chronicles. Yeah, he's done all the Xeno stuff. Okay. He's the guy. He's our guy. So this is good. This is very good. He's 1,000% our guy. I'm not particularly familiar with the developers, so I'm gonna have to admit it. I love this franchise. Not particularly familiar with their directors. As announced in the latest Nintendo Direct video presentation, the RPG adventure Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is heading to Nintendo Switch in September. To shed some light on this announcement, Executive Director Tetsuya Takahashi shared this message on the upcoming title, including some exciting tidbits that are sure to be of interest to fans of the series. Over to you, Mr. Takahashi. Hi everyone, this is Tetsuya Takahashi from Monolith Soft. Just over 4 years since the release of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and 1.5 years since the release of Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Which, by the way, 2 fucking outstanding games by any possible, scale that you use. Okay, 2 highly recommend both of them. Golden Country or Torna, whatever expansion, not as good. And Future Connected, not good at all, in my opinion. Didn't like it at all. But the base game, so Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Chronicles Definitive Edition, freaking fantastic. We now bring to you news regarding the latest game from Monolith Soft, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. As the name indicates, it is the 3rd installment of the Xenoblade Chronicles series. We're currently making final adjustments to ensure we create... How's it the 3rd installment? It's the 4th. No, it's... Yeah, it's technically it's the 4th, because there's also Xenoblade Chronicles X. X is like the bastard child. We don't talk about X. That's... We don't talk about Xenoblade X. We don't talk about it, okay? It lives on the Wii U. We left it there to die, and it's still alive somehow. There's these crazy people that still talk about it. Like I heard there's this Rurikhan guy that evangelized the damn game. Stop sending us emails, Ruri. We're tired of it. As the name indicates, it's the 3rd installment of the Xenoblade Chronicles series. We're currently making final adjustments to ensure we create the best game possible based on everything we've learned from the past entries in the series. The key visual features a broken great sword of Mechonis. Oh. And the body of a Urayan Titan with a gaping wound. I imagine everyone who saw the trailer was quite surprised by the final scene. What is this visual hinting at? I can't reveal it just yet. What I can tell you is that this visual was conceived quite some time ago. More precisely speaking, we came up with it sometime between the end of development of Xenoblade Chronicles and the beginning of development of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Damn! So it's not something we recently added to the series. We believe the game will be enjoyable for both those who've played Xenoblade Chronicles or Xenoblade Chronicles 2, as well as those who will be playing a Xenoblade Chronicles game for the first time. So like I said, you can play the other two games. You probably should because they're fucking amazing, but you don't have to. If you want to jump in Xenoblade 3, you should be fine. Usually with Xenoblades, it's like that. You can jump into any Xenoblade games that you want, and you're going to enjoy it. You'll probably enjoy it more if you've played the previous ones, but you don't have to. Now, the thing that I'm curious about is if Xenoblade 3 would also bring Chronicles X into the kind of like Xenoverse, so to speak, because 1 and 2 are obviously linked, but X, there's no official, like there's a bunch of fan theories of how X could technically connect, which is really cool to explore, by the way. If you guys ever find yourselves down that particular YouTube rabbit hole, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fan theories. So there's a lot of theories as to how everything is connected. But right now, the only official connections is between Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2. So it's not something we recently added to the series. I believe the game. The characters were designed by Masatsugo Saito, who also designed the characters for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. While we can't reveal them at this time, Koichi Mujitani created some of the game's key artwork. As you can see, familiar staff members with Xenoblade Chronicles series have once again come together to create this game. The game's music was also handled by artists who've contributed to the series in the past. The music for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was composed by Yasunori Mitsuda, Manami Kiyota, Ace Tomori Kudo, Chiko, Kenji Hiramasu, and Mariam Abwanzar. The music in this game maintains the unique Xenoblade Chronicles touch, while also taking on a new challenge, namely that of integrating a flute-based melody as its motif. Interesting. The flute is actually one of the key themes in this game. Yeah, I talked about it. A variety of other elements and themes are hidden in the trailer, and we'll be revealing the details a bit at a time going forward. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a new adventure bringing together the worlds of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 to take players into the future. While there's still some time left before the release of the game, I hope you'll look forward to it. You better believe I do. You better believe I do. So there's also some more information over here on Silicon Era. Nintendo and Monolith Soft have, what's the headline? Xenoblade Chronicles 3 characters and Japanese cast revealed. Nintendo and Monolith Soft have revealed more details about the protagonist and key characters who will appear in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. We'll have 6 main characters coming from the 2 warring nations of Kiev and Agnes. All characters were designed by Masatsugo Saito, who made his return from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Noah and Mio will both be protagonists of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. When Monolith Soft unveiled the first trailer at the February 2022 Nintendo Direct, it included a notable scene where both characters play flutes. This is because Noah and Miyu work as off-seers in their respective nations. Oh, so they're of opposing nations. And if there's 6 characters, I would imagine it's going to be 3 from one nation, 3 from another. They play the flutes to mourn for fellow soldiers who fell on the battlefield. 2 more characters from each nation will accompany Noah and Miyu. Yep, just like I said. Noah will be joined by his childhood friends Lons and Uni. Lons will mostly act on the front lines, yet he's a tank, as his greatsword can also double as a shield. Meanwhile, Uni will focus on healing her teammates. Mio will also bring 2 allies with different specialties. The warrior Senna will lead the way with a physical strength and blunt weapon. I liked her. She had a big hammer. The strategist Taiyon will support from behind with his intellect and numerous drones. So this is the papier-mâché guy. I was not a big fan. The Japanese press release for Xenoblade Chronicles 3 also revealed the voice actors for each of the 6 main characters. Ryoe Harai, Mio Minami Hituna, Senna Hino Kaito. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will be available worldwide for the Switch September 2022.